Well, today marks 50 years since the world stopped in its tracks to watch two Americans take the first steps on the moon to fulfill President Kennedy's request. Color 10's Madison Heaver has been working on this story for quite some time now. So, Madison, what did you find out?
Crystal, I found out that after 50 years, many people are still talking about what a feat landing on the moon was. I talked with two local professors about when they watched the moon landing as kids and how it inspired them to do what they're doing now.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
I review the video of that. It gives me chills because, you know, they're descending to the surface of the moon, and Neil Armstrong is saying, you know, 1,200 feet and going down, down, and over, and then he says, kicking up some dust.
30 feet down, 2.5, picking up some dust.
Gives me chills right now. You know, just kicking up dust on the surface of the moon. You know, it was incredible. And then to see them walking on the moon, which I did as a 10-year-old kid.
Dr. Greg Ojakangis is a physics professor at Drury University. He also worked for NASA for a few years in the 90s.
Everyone who lived through it remembers it. It's one of those moments that you can't forget. Most of the, you know, it was the most watched event in history. I mean, you know, a large fraction of the Earth's population were all watching.
He says the mission made him want to be an astronaut.
I think it was even before the landings on the moon. You know, it was ramping up. We were talking about it. It was going to happen. My mother remembers me sitting in the kitchen, you know, counter, eating my breakfast cereal and staring out the window, you know, and with glazed eyes. And she said, "What are you thinking about, Greg?" I said, "Do you think I could be an astronaut?"
But with this flight, new challenges for mankind. A challenge to determine yet whether in coming to the moon, will we turn our century-old friend in the sky into an enemy, or will we make the most of it as perhaps a way station on beyond to the stars?
Another professor from Missouri State University who also watched the moon landing says it was suspenseful.
When they were going along trying to land on the moon, everybody was holding their breath, you know, because they just about ran out of fuel. And then when, you know, Tranquility Base here, it was like, oh my God, we really are on the moon.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
It's after that when Neil Armstrong said those famous words.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We had a lot of people there kind of celebrating and cheering and yelling, the whole bit.
She says the landing was an inspiration to many wanting to go into STEM fields.
Females weren't on the moon, but it still told us that we could do that, and we were heading out to whatever our future might be out in space.
And the future of space travel?
I have a 5-year-old great niece, and my guess is by the time she's my age or a little bit older, they will be taking those field trips to the moon and Mars and possibly whatever else is beyond there. Given the chance, I would step on a rocket to Mars tomorrow.
Man finally has visited the moon after all the ages of wishing and waiting.
50 years ago, landing humans on the surface of the moon. That was amazing.